Hi everyone, I thought I'd just drop in, send you a message today. I'm sitting here, it's turned out to be a really sunny day after a very foggy start, but very, very cold. And we're now in December, as you well know. It starts to be a very busy time. You might have a lot of stress in your life and it starts to get even busier and more stressful with what's coming up. But it's really important to just pause for a moment and stop and think about how you're taking care of your immunity. You know, there's lots of people start coming down with loads of coughs and colds, and we can just feel it's just a natural progression. Oh, it's that time of year. We're getting coughs and colds, or, oh yeah, someone else has got something, so naturally I'm going to pick up on that as well. But what are you actively doing to take care of your immunity? Because it isn't a foregone conclusion that just because everyone else around is getting something, you will too. Or because you had something last year, or this time of year, you always come down with something. It doesn't need to be that way, but we need to think about all the steps we need to take. So I thought, it was just on my mind actually sitting here just to talk about this, because I am actively trying to think and make sure I'm doing the best I possibly can to look after my immunity. I was really ill in January. That's a story for another day, and it was very much unlike me, but I do not want to be in that same position again. So, of course, the natural things we think about are taking vitamin D, and I always take a spray one. This is one by Bear Biology. I often recommend Better You. They're lovely because little spray, you spray onto your inner cheek, it bypasses the digestive tract, it gets absorbed straight into the bloodstream. Fantastic. This one is 4,000 IU. It also comes with some K2 as well. 4,000 IU. So if you look at the NHS website, it might mention 400 IU. The bare minimum I would say you should take is 1,000 IU. But to be perfectly honest with you, you want to give your immune system a real boost. So 4,000 IU, there is no harm in doing that for a month or two over winter. You may then think about dropping down to a lower amount. Or if you've got one that's 1,000 IU, have 4 times the number of squirts of whatever it is you might take. So vitamin D, absolutely. And whilst I'm just talking about supplements, vitamin C. So I use a very cheap brand, Lambert's, for vitamin C. I know this is showing up as back to front. I tend to use this all year round. You can buy really expensive vitamin C formulas now, but this one is a pot of 180 because we all use it in my household. This one is 1,000 milligrams. Again, if you look at the NRV for vitamin C, it's 60 milligrams. That's barely going to keep you out of scurvy. You want to really optimize your immune system. Vitamin C is a fantastic antioxidant and really going to support your immune system to really fight for you over the winter. So 1,000 milligrams. At the first sign of a cold, I take 6 of these a day, spread out over the course of the day. I tend to take 3 lots of 2,000 milligrams because there is a lot of research to show that when you really scale up your vitamin C, it can help to fight and ward off the length of a viral infection. So when I was ill in January, December, I was abroad. I didn't have any of my usual stuff with me, so I couldn't do it. So I take that every day, but I really scale up on that. And for a final supplement I want to talk about is what are you doing to take care of your gut microbiome? Because we know that 60-70% of our immunity does start in the gut. And I could talk about that till the cows come home. But you've got to look after those lovely microbes of yours, the good beneficial guys that are helping to produce lots of different beneficial compounds, firing up your immunity that's in your gut. Yes, we need a broad range of vegetables. I'll come back to that. But to really provide the fuel for your microbes, I like to use prebiotic fibers. And I love this by In Vivo called PHGG. PHGG is the most wonderful prebiotic powder as an everyday use for feeding your microbes. And I get that from the natural dispensary where I buy all my other supplements from. Brilliant and well loved by gut specialists and all nutritionists now, but it acts in a really lovely, gentle way to keep feeding and boosting those microbes. But let's talk about all the other things that you should be doing at this time of year. Are you getting out in the fresh air fresh air on a daily basis, getting out of a stuffy environment and getting that fresh air into your lungs? Are you getting movement? So if you get outside in the fresh air, you're going for a nice brisk walk. Could you go for a gentle run? Something out in the fresh air, or any other activity and movement. We've got to keep our lymph pumping around our body. Our lymphatic system is the one where our white blood cells are formed, but also that's taking away all that waste from your tissues. What are you doing to keep that lymph moving around your body so that it can go back to the liver detoxifies, and the waste can get out of your body? You've got to keep that lymph moving. You do not want it to become stagnant, because that is then going to encourage toxicity build up in the body, stagnant waste. You just don't want it. How about your sleep? Are you really maximizing your sleep? You know, as naturopaths, we strongly believe in the circadian rhythms and the importance of the shorter days to go to bed earlier. We may still need to get up early in the morning for work and for school and other commitments, but we can go to bed earlier. Absolutely maximize your sleep at this time of year. Your body's repair is taking place when you are sleeping, so do as much as you can to take care of that. Stress. We know it's a problem for just about everything. We know from research that stress is going to really reduce your immune function. Natural killer cells are not going to be as active. So what can you do to help to take control of your stress? You can't get away from all your stress, but what can you do to get a walk away from a stressful situation? Get outside, for example, do some deep breathing, take yourself off to a yoga class, watch something funny on TV, play the sort of music you like, ring a friend, do anything you can that is going to help to lower your stress response, to get you out of that sympathetic fight or flight reaction and into the parasympathetic rest and digest function, to calm that stress response right down. We do not want cortisol firing around the body 24/7. So maximize your sleep, think about controlling your stress, think about movement, think about those few simple supplements. And then from a dietary point of view, you know, this isn't necessarily a time of year to be eating salads, but you might love them. I still like eating salads. But what are you doing to get in your body all those wonderful vegetables at this time of year? Whether it's your cabbages and your sprouts and the squash, carrots, you want as much flavour, you want as much colour and diversity. To eat leeks, eat anything. You know, eating the rainbow is there for a reason. So we've got to keep up, make some stews, make some soups. The vegetables are going to be providing fibre to keep the gut healthy. They're going to be providing lots of different nutrients for the body, lots of different antioxidants. All of this is helping to ward off the probability that you're going to come down with viruses. I was going to mention herbs and spices for the same reasons. You know, they are there. Herbalists could talk 10 to the dozen about why we need different herbs and spices, you know, but using ginger, using thyme and rosemary, you know, all of these things are just wonderful. They are all supporting your body to help to ward off infections. Keep your protein levels up, because protein is important for helping to make all our cells, white blood cells in the body as well. And just take the best possible care of yourself. We may be busy, but on the days when we're not, you know, just look after yourself, go to bed earlier, nourish yourself, keep your fluid level intake up as much as you can. In fact, and that's the other thing I had on my desk, I'm now putting electrolytes. This is called Ocean, as in OSHUN, but putting electrolytes in water has become quite a big thing now, and I'm noticing a difference myself. A couple of pumps of electrolytes and a bottle of water every day really helps to support the hydration. I'm not just talking about hydration generally, but getting hydration into your cells, really, really important. So keep your fluid up. It doesn't just need to be water. It can be lovely warming herbal teas at this time of year. Bit of tea and coffee is fine, but keeping up the hydrating fluids is really important as well. Again, for helping to flush things out of the cells, out of the tissues, and keeping that lymphatic fluid in a fluid state as much as you possibly can. So, you know, do everything you can. We don't have to succumb to things, and we certainly don't need to succumb to things at the worst possible way. We can help to keep things from really taking a hold on the body, but you really need to look after yourself and do everything you can to keep your immune system firing on all cylinders. So I hope you found that useful today. If you like these little videos, please sort of put a little thumbs up or a little heart or say you love this, and I will promise you I'll keep posting some more. Enjoy the rest of your day and speak to you soon.